to 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Nicholas Akosile Walter. Here are the news making the headlines. Greater Works 2020, passion to take your portion, Apostle Suleiman. Ivory Coast, Ouattara's re-election ratified. US election, Trump camp vows legal fight just begun. Naira may depreciate to 475 against dollar, says Rwanda. A new NPFL season resumes December 6th. Please stay with us as we'll bring you details of our news after the short break. You're welcome back, and now the news in full. Greater Works 2020, passion to take your passion by Apostle Johnson Suleiman. Greater Works 2020 resumes as his first point of call was in Benin City, the capital of Edo State, Nigeria. It is no longer news that the coronavirus pandemic placed a lot of global economic activities, not excluding religious activities, in form of public gathering and a compulsory hold in order to curb the effect on human lives. Since then, the evangelical tour of the Resurrection Apostle Johnson Suleiman, named Greater Works 2020, was suspended following government instructions. Just after the lockdown, Apostle Suleiman took the gospel to Benin City. The meeting, which started 9th through 10th November 2020, was held at the Southern Region 2 Headquarters Plot 2, Wayak Road, Aduawa, Benin City. Making his evangelical comeback a life-changing meeting, he admonished the congregation the passion to take their portion. He emphasized on the need for passion to get the portion they desire, portraying and citing examples with the life of Elijah and Elisha. He, however, urged believers to place demand on life, because life doesn't give you anything except you make a demand for what you want. And the message was geared to encourage lives to sit up to expectations, as it is seen nowadays that a lot of people don't add enough effort to life. He charged believers to be obedient and committed to the things of God and stop being men pleasers. Moving forward quickly, another protest looms if unemployment persists, says Lawan. The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, warned the political office holders and policy makers against paying lip service to youth unemployment. He challenged his colleagues in positions of authorities to favor youth employment and empowerment into a 2021 budget so as to escape another round of EndSARS protests. Lawan gave the warning when the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mr. Sabo Nanono, led top officials of his ministry to defend his 2021 budget before the Senate Committee on Agriculture. Lawan said the oil sector and white-collar jobs could no longer provide the required employment to keep the youths busy and financially stable. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari told Nigerian youths who have been protesting under the auspices of EndSARS that it was in their interest to keep the peace. According to a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the president spoke during the visit of the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed, Nigeria's former Minister of Environment, to the presidential villa, Abuja. The president was quoted to have said that their generation is on the last lap. It is in the interest of the youth to keep the peace. They want jobs, infrastructure and development. Buhari also lamented that COVID-19 has shrunk the global economy. The UN Deputy Secretary General was quoted as telling Buhari that she was on a courtesy call with her team to flag interest on challenges that concern the United Nations, particularly COVID-19, climate change, security, and humanitarian responses to the diverse challenges. And quickly, in another development, WASC for private candidates commences November 30th, says WAEC. The West African Examination Council has said the West African Senior School Certificate Examination private candidates will now commence on November 30th, 2020. A statement signed by the WAEC Acting Head Public Affairs Deminus Ojejogu said WAEC Nigeria wishes to inform all registered candidates for WAEC for private candidates 2020 second series and the general public that there has been a change in timetable. The examination, which was initially scheduled to commence on Saturday, November 14, 2020, will no longer hold as planned due to circumstances beyond control. The examination has now been rescheduled to commence on Monday, November 30th, 2020. The Council wishes to reassure candidates that the new timetable for the conduct of the examination will be released soon. Now we have articles coming from around Africa and precisely Ivory Coast. Ouattara's re-election ratified. Ivory Coast Constitutional Council formally validated President Alassane Ouattara's re-elections to a third term after an October 31st ballot that was marred by clashes and an opposition boycott. Council President Mamadou Kone said in a national broadcast that the body had ratified Ouattara's victory by more than 94% of the vote. Considering that Mr. Alassane Ouattara received 3,031,483 votes, thus achieving a score of 94.27% above the absolute majority required. It is therefore appropriate to proclaim him elected in the first round President of the Republic of Ivory Coast following the ballot of Saturday, October 31st, 2020, Kone has said. The West African nations' opposition leaders are actually now under investigation for insurrection after they rejected the results and called for a rival transitional government. Opposition group says Ouattara violated the constitution, which limits president to 2 terms. Ouattara says the approval of a new constitution in 2016 allows him to restart his mandate. Clashes in the run-up to the vote and on election day killed around 35 people, officials said, raising concerns about the stability of Ivory Coast, the world's top cocoa producer. And quickly, still from around Africa, the Republic of Congo precisely, Mukwege calls on President to personally write war crime impunity. Congolese 2018 Nobel Peace Prize laureate Dr. Denis Mukwege currently visiting Kinshasa in the Congo as part of the political consultations initiated by President Felix Tshisekedi, is explicitly calling on the head of state to right the wrongdoings that span over 25 years in the country. The human rights activist stated publicly and brazenly, crimes cannot go unpunished. Criminals continue to make the eastern part of their country unsafe and thus make the whole republic unsafe. The third thing that has been asked of the President of the Republic is that he gets personally involved, that he be the torchbearer in this fight against impunity by asking United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to address the Security Council for the implementation of an international criminal court for the Congo. Mukwege already made the plea in July for the creation of an international criminal tribunal for the Republic of Congo. In addition, he condemned the massacre of 18 people in South Kivu, a move who is the human rights doctor who provides medical treatment to victims of sexual violence in war, be the target of serious death threats. As such, Denis Mukwege is now under the protection of the United Nations. We'll go on a short break. When we'll come back, we'll bring you news from the United States of America. Please stay with us.
Men's Conference 2020 with the theme Kingship by Service.
You are a man around the world. This is an opportunity for you to come and just get blessed and enjoy the very presence of God, enjoy the anointing of God, enjoy the grace of God. We are believing God for miracles, for signs, for wonders, for men taking their place in the name of the Lord Jesus.
Date 11th through 13th November 2020. 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily, happening live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Kilometer 132, Biniokini Abuja Expressway, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. For inquiry, call +234 806 464 6180.
You're welcome back, and now updates from United States of America. On U.S. election, Trump campaign vows legal fight just began. U.S. President Donald Trump's spokeswoman has vowed a legal battle contest Joe Biden's White House election victory is only just beginning. White House Press Secretary Kelly McEnany said the election is not over. She made a flurry of allegations of election corruption, although no evidence of systemic fraud that might have influenced the result has emerged. Mr. Trump, a Republican, has not conceded the race since media projected on Saturday that Mr. Biden had won the critical state of Pennsylvania, accumulating enough votes to claim the White House. The president-elect has forged ahead with his plans to take reins of power. Mr. Trump took to Twitter again on Monday to dispute the outcome, making unsubstantially claims of unthinkable and illegal activities in the state. The General Services Administration, which manages federal agencies, had held off on allowing Biden aides to formally begin the transition, saying no ascertainment on an election winner had yet been made. White House reporters have been saying that despite his objections, Mr. Trump is expected to leave office begrudgingly in January and is already talking about running for the White House again in 2024. More updates from the UK right now. 7-day-a-week clinics for vaccine proposed. Doctors' leader says they stand ready to start providing COVID-19 vaccine proposals being drawn up for clinics to run for 7 days a week. The British Medical Association said mass vaccination centers could be used in a similar way to testing centers. It comes after early findings showed one vaccine in development could prevent more than 90% of people from suffering the effects of COVID-19. A limited number of people may get that vaccine by the end of this year. The developers, FIFA and BioNTech, plan to apply for emergency approval to use the vaccine by the end of the month, but it will not be released to used until it passes safety test and gets the final go-ahead from the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agencies. And the UK has ordered 40 million doses, enough to vaccinate up to 20 million people, as each person will need 2 doses for it to work effectively. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has warned people not to rely on the vaccine as a solution to the pandemic, saying it was very early days. He said the development of coronavirus vaccine had cleared one significant hurdle, but there are several more to go. The BMA said it expects vaccine availability to be limited to begin with, meaning only small numbers of vaccine may be given in December and most vaccinations taking place in early 2021. He said that due to the logistics and delivery requirements, it was likely that groups of GP practices would need to work together with one designated vaccination site. Dr. Richard Vautry, chairman of the BMA's GP committee in England, said GPs and practice nurses have a proven track record of mass immunization campaigns and were the right people to be leading the effort once a coronavirus vaccine becomes available. And quickly, we have news coming from the business world. Naira may depreciate to 475 against dollar, says one. The Naira will weaken in the parallel market as oil prices stay at $40 to $42 per barrel and likely depreciate to 470 to 475 against the dollar in November and December. The Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Bismarck Ruwani, has said. Ruwani stated this in a presentation at the Lagos Business School breakfast session. The Nigeria currency is currently trading around 462 to 465 against the greenback in the parallel market. According to Ruwani, oil prices are under pressure again, currently trading below $41 per barrel, and this will further limit foreign exchange supply. He said the resumption of international flights, trading and manufacturing activities will heighten forex demand pressures. Ruwani said Naira is likely to depreciate to trade around 470 to 475 in November and December. Convergence of multiple rates will continue, but unification is unlikely. The Central Bank of Nigeria will maintain its forex rationing stance and intensify efforts to keep the Naira stable. External reserves to likely fall towards $34 billion in the coming months. The economic expert stated that the International Monetary Fund's Article 4 review has started already, adding that the Central Bank of Nigeria will come under additional pressure. Adding to him, the 2021 budget is likely to revise as a result of impact of lower oil price and high expenditure and the end SARS crisis, which will deepen the economic crisis and delay the recovery. And still on business news, 5G not hazardous to be deployed in 2021, says NCC. The Nigerian Communications Commission says the trial of a fifth-generation mobile network shows that there is no health hazard associated with the use of a technology. The Commission, in a draft consultation document on deployment of fifth-generation mobile technology in Nigeria published on Monday, stated that the trial was conducted in 6 cities: Abuja, Lagos, Ibadan, Abeokuta, Kano, and Calabar. The regulatory body said the tests were conducted in accordance with the 1999 International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection Guidance for general public exposure to varying electromagnetic fields, which were in force at the time of the trials. The telecoms regulator stated that the deployment of a new network in the country will be done in 2 phases. It said that phase 1, which involves deployment based on the non-standalone approach, would commence in 2021. According to the NCC, the phase 2, based on the standalone approach, would rely on new spectrum allocation, will commence on 2022. The regulatory body said 5G network deployment will rely on the availability of sufficient radio spectrum at the low, medium, and high frequency bands to provide for the different use cases and applications. The industry regulator promised that the operator would be vacated and the band licensed based on the new TDD plan. We'll go on a short break. After now, we'll bring you sport news. Stay with us, please. You welcome sports news. New NPFL season resumes December 6. The fixtures for the 2020-2021 Nigerian Professional Football League season was released on Monday, and the opening weekend on December 6 will see 8-time champions Ayimba host Abia Warriors at the Aba Township Stadium. Next up for the Elephants of Aba on March Day 2 is a tricky trip to Ilorin, where they will face Kwara United on March Day 2. According to a detailed fixtures released by the league management company on Monday, the new season is expected to end on Sunday, July 1st, 2021. The fixtures also put an end to earlier speculation that the league will be played in the abridged format to make up for lost time and help align it with those of their European counterparts. Other opening day fixtures sees four-time champions Kano Pillar play away to Damawa United in Gombe, while MFM FC will play their opening game of the season against Warri Wolves at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. CAF Confederation Cup campaigners Rivers United will test their wits against Enugu Rangers in an Oriental derby, while FC Flying Uba might play their opening game at the Aba or the refurbished Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin. With only 13 stadia across the country deemed fit to host games in the forthcoming seasons, most teams will be playing away from their traditional games. Still in another sports news, Pinnick to run for FIFA Council seat. President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, has confirmed his intention to vie for a seat at the FIFA Council at the next elective Congress of the Confederation of African Football scheduled for March 21st, 2021 in Rabat, Morocco. Pinnick's decision to vie for a seat on the FIFA Council has put to bed speculations that the NFF boss was gunning for the presidency of the Confederation of Africa Football. Pinnick, in a statement, stated that the decision to vie for the council position was arrived at after several consultations. If he wins, he becomes the third Nigerian after Oyo Rock Oyo 1980 to 1988 and Amos Adamu 2006 to 2010 to be elected into the council. And we've come to the end of the news on Celebration Television News Desk. In case you're just joining us, here's the news headline recap. On Greater Works 2020, Passion to Take Your Portion by Apostle Suleiman. Ivory Coast Ouattara's re-election ratified. And on US, Trump campaign vows legal fight just began. Naira may depreciate to 475 Naira against dollar, says Ruwani. And on sports, new NPFL season resumes December 6th. And quickly we'll have photo of the day. Can you see that? It states, don't wait to be rich. Don't wait to be rich to be happy. Happiness is free. That's the fact of it all. Don't just wait to be rich before you initiate happiness. Just initiate happiness because it's a free gift from God. But it is not your riches that should determine your happiness. You can drop your comment on our social media platforms on Facebook, Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, tweet at us at My Celebration TV, on YouTube, Celebration TV. Always remember that the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. No matter the office you hold as a nation's president, a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, a professional, as a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all to making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. Play your part today and do it with all diligence. Thanks once again for staying with us on our news desk. I remain Nicholas Akosile Walter. Thanks once again. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.